record. And then I'm like, just kidding. Okay. Hi, take two. Awesome. All right. So we're super excited. We're going to recap this incentive trip. We just got back from the period kicked off in December. It was December to April. And our team started February 7th. And over a 36 people from our team earned the trip. 26 people actually went on it. And to me, that was kind of evident on just like, it wasn't, I never say anything's easy because it's not easy, but it was definitely simple. It showed like working your business basically how you could earn it. We had people that joined in February earned it, that joined in March and earned it, and we had someone that joined in April, literally the last month, and she did what it took to earn it. You know what I mean? And so that was really eye opening to me. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna have a few kick off and give kind of their just their own recap, some takeaways from it, and we'll all chime in a little bit and just kind of pretty casual because I love we all it was a lot. We all took in different things, but I feel like you'll see like one different message from it all. So I know Jennifer has a bunch of people at her house. So we're going to go ahead and let Jen, Miss Golden Director, kick off first.
Hi everyone, happy Monday.
For you.
I just left the trip so excited. I don't know if you guys have ever been on any incentive trips before. I have been on several. But this is obviously my first one for this company. I earned level 2, so my husband got to come too, and I just joined in February, like many of you guys. The things that stood out to me were when I walked in, I didn't feel any clickiness anywhere. There's like all these beautiful influencers everywhere, and they were all super inviting and smiling and happy to see everyone. And it just felt so warm and so welcome. The most welcome I've ever felt entering any situation like that. So that really stood out to me, and I knew I was in the right place. Another thing that stood out to me is that our team, we're not just influencers, we're teachers, nurses, doctors, stay-at-home moms. Some of us are influencers, but we were like a good mix of people. Something I noticed there where they were mostly like influencers, or at least they appear to be what you would stereotypically think of an influencer. Um, and people kept asking
No one.
how we came so far in such a short amount of time, all of us that were there. And it's because we're real people. We're not just influencers. Because influencers, not when I say pharmacy influencer, I'm talking about an influencer. We're not just influencers. Um, influencers could get people to join, right? They have that draw. But can they get people to stay? You and me, guys, we're the ones who are going to get people not only to come, to stay, to fall in love, and to work their business. And that's why there were so many of us there in such a short amount of time. And I just thought it was incredible. And the last thing I'm going to say, because I do have 20 something people coming to my house and I'm getting a little nervous, there's already people here, is that, and they're all here to talk about pharmacy, is what was I going to say? Oh, the awards. It was amazing. It didn't matter. There was like, I didn't feel any competition or competitiveness or cattiness. Literally, everyone was cheering, screaming, clapping, applauding for everyone. It did not matter what level you were. So, like, they had their directors come out holding their checks, and then they had bronze directors, and people were just so happy and people were so proud. It was none of this is the very top, or you have to be in this specific top 10 or have this amount of this or that. Like, none of that where you may have previously worked really hard but didn't make it by like 2 pennies or by 2 recruits. Everyone got to walk up that stage and everyone cheered and everyone felt so seen and so recognized. And like I said, it didn't matter about the level. I think that the directors had the most cheering of all, as opposed to the people who had hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, everyone was just thrilled, and you just felt that from beginning to end. And that was amazing. And I hope to see you guys at the next one.
Thank you so much, Jen. And oh my gosh, she is right. Like the energy after all the recognition, like I ran up there and I was like, literally, it was like so crowded with the directors. Like that was actually the most crowded where everyone was up there, like taking pictures, videos, and it was just really amazing to watch for sure. So go, good luck at your event. You're going to kill it. I'm actually going to kick it to Miss Anita Roy because I know she's at a swim night and I'm really excited to hear what she has to tell us.
Hi, guys. Well, welcome everyone. I know we've got probably a mixture of current influencers and maybe hopefully soon to be influencers. So this was my first pharmacy event. I think some of the other folks here maybe had been to some of the events in Miami. This was my very first one. And if I'm being completely honest, I started and I earned the trip and I was so excited, but I still just wasn't sure what to like. I wasn't sure how I felt or what to expect about pharmacy as far as a community and event because I hadn't experienced it yet. And so I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to do it because it really just was a big shift for me. And even just my excitement level, it was already there, but like really excited about being here now after having experienced it, and it makes me even more excited for the rest of you to experience it too. So with that said, and I think this might be echoed by some of the other folks that are going to be sharing, but I had kind of three major takeaways from this. So one, now, one of the things that was interesting, and we are a global company, okay? So that means that there are, if you look at the country list where we're available, lots of countries. And when we got there, I was surprised by the amount of it was a very like heavily it was everyone was speaking Spanish. So, and it wasn't just because we were in Mexico, like there was a huge the huge group of earners from Mexico, Central America. And so we were actually, as the US earners were, I would say in the minority. And at first I was like, oh, that's interesting. But what really, when I started to think about it, I'm like, this is a huge opportunity because what it says to me is we aren't big enough to even have our own like incentive trip for US folks yet, because that's just not where the market is that untapped, which is huge news for all of you. And not just that, it's not new to the US, we have this new opportunity with a globally and firmly established company that has all the things in place, has the customer service support in place, they've been around so long that now they're making all these improvements. And so we are new, and US is new to pharmacy, but pharmacy is so established. So you kind of get the best of both worlds where you're joining a new untapped market, but not a market that is, or a company that is ground floor new in the sense that you're having to navigate all the startup stuff. So it is truly the best of both worlds as I can see it. And I know that the next trip that we're going to be on, it's going to be, and I'm not saying that that was a bad thing that we didn't speak Spanish, but it's going to be even better when we're around, when we can collaborate and meet people across other teams that are also English speakers. Okay, so that was one. That kind of leads into the second one when we're talking about already established. So pharmacy, they talked about and they've celebrated. Pharmacy just had their best month like ever. Okay, so when you're watching the industry, across the industry, you're seeing companies close, companies change models, companies struggle to figure out, how they're going to keep navigating. Maybe they had a big boom during COVID and then they just had a hard time bouncing back from that. Whereas what you're seeing with pharmacy is they have been steadily growing all along, and they're still peaking. Like we're still peaking, and we're especially peaking with the large growth from our US component. So, and they're invested in improving it. And it's not something where, they're stretching out of they're like, oh, now we've grown, so now we're going to open up a whole new product line. They've already have a vast product line. They already have these things in place, and we just get to fall into that. All right, so that's my third one is when we were on this trip, I asked, because there were a lot of influencers I didn't know, so what my kind of like the thing I asked a lot of people is, what are your top 3 products? Because if you are like me, when you probably first thought about it, I've been with a niche company for a very long time. I thought, I want to be in a niche company. I want to be in a company where I only have to know one product. That's easy. Well, until you find yourself in the lifestyle brand and you find that you actually have products that serve everybody. And so my question to the other folks on the trip were, what are your top 3? Like what products are you loving? And to me, it was so fascinating that nearly everyone had a totally different top three. Like if you guys are watching right now, I'd love for you just to put in the chat, like if you've tried Farmasi before, what are your top three favorite products? I know it's really hard to narrow it down to just three, but just give us top three. And you're going to see in the chat that it's going to be a big, vast variety of things. Maybe some things overlap. But I thought that was so interesting because now I have this sister friend who she loves something else, and maybe it's something I haven't tried yet. Maybe it's something I actually didn't care for as much, but it also tells me, okay, my customer base is also a slice of this too. And so they may not love everything that I love. I also don't have to try every single product to be able to share and sell that product. I can pull testimonials from other people. And you just have you have this endless amount of things that you can share. And I think that if you've ever been concerned about going from niche to a lifestyle brand, you just have even more ways to serve people, whether it's beauty. Like I was so excited about the beauty aspect of it, and I've just been diving into some of the nutrition stuff and wellness stuff, which I actually think I like even better than the beauty stuff that brought me over to begin with. So I just think that you're going to have customers who are going to do the same. One of the things I was telling my team is I think if you have kind of a favorite across the board, I think beauty is one of those things people try initially and that excites them. They can see the results right away. But then what's going to keep them and keep your recurring sales are going to be the nutrition things, because those are things that people are going to want to do monthly. And hey, dad, or hey, husband, whoever's chatting, look, I don't know where your cup is. But anyhow, they're gonna stay because of stuff like that, and that's going to be where your recurring sales are. So it was just really cool to see that. It was eye opening to me that we really do have this great opportunity. So those are my three big takeaways. I'm so glad you guys are here, and I can't wait to see you guys hopefully at the Miami conference.
I love that so much, Anita. And you're right. When you look in the chat, everyone, it's different for everyone. And that was definitely super intimidating for me. And the other thing I really love that you touched on, and I don't want to echo because I know we're all going to echo, was that I hate saying like the whole like the hype ground floor, but you really feel the ground floor opportunity, but with a foundation of a legacy company, the safety there, to not the not being scared, the fear, the fact that all the systems are in play. And so it really truly is the best of both worlds. So thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Miss Platinum Director KB. And let's see what she has to say. She's also wearing the team shirt. So we got the.
Hi, friends. Hello. I had to wear the gear. Shout out to Shauna for making the gear. I'm having my little Riviera Maya cocktail cup here. It's fun. And I'm being really nosy in the chat, seeing everybody's top three products because I'm just super nosy. And I have to answer your question. So elixir oil, vitamin C, and absolute aloe glow for sure. Like elixir oil, I'm layered in it right now. I'll get a little bit closer for you guys. The sun loved me and I loved it. So I've been layered in aloe, or I've been drinking aloe and layered in elixir oil since I've been home. Like it's on my arms, it's in my hair. I'm bathing in it. So it's working. One of the key things that I wanted to talk about, honestly, it's true to me. I earned it for both, for two people. So it was my partner and I that went, and I wanted her feedback as well. I was like, so like well, if you had to say one sentence about the experience, and she literally came back to me and she was like, it was all inclusive. It was like we were a unity. Like it just felt like we were united. And I completely agreed. With that being said, KV broke her phone 24 hours into the trip. So I was in a weird spot, friends. As you know, with social selling and media and sharing things and wanting to like explore your business and do the reels and do the photos and do all of that stuff, I couldn't do any of it. And my partner didn't really have the apps and she's not super tech savvy. So I kind of like had to make a pivot in that moment of, with being there and being the experience in itself. And without hesitation, every single person was willing to help me. And when I say willing to help me, they were telling me where to meet for pictures. They were reminding me where to meet for pictures. They were passing me by of saying, oh, we're having cocktails over here. Let's venture this way. Or, hey, we're actually going to go over here now for the group picture. Like every single person was involved and did not make me feel left out, because I easily could have been left out by my own doing of a broken phone. And everyone was just so inviting and honestly generous with their information. So when I say that, I mean when we're doing the pictures and everything like that, sometimes things can happen and people are moving. Like we waited until everybody could be there as much as possible. With being able to do the trainings and sitting down, we were waiting to get into the groups, and we were passing out Alglo and we're chatting, and I was able to have conversations with people that I normally would have never talked to, only because I'm anxiety ridden. Like I have full blown anxiety, and this showed me that I'm able to open up here more than the previous places that I've been. And I felt more comfortable. For a huge example, everyone got a check. Like everyone was recognized, like the unity in that, just for all of those people to be there. And every single one of us had a check to share and to walk across the stage with. Every single person was seen and recognized in that way. I walked across the stage, and to be honest with you, I felt like I was going to pass out. It doesn't matter if it's a small stage. It doesn't matter if it's a glorious stage. It doesn't matter. It's a stage. And I feel like I just can't do it. Tamra was with me, and she's just like the yin to my yang with like the social aspect of it all. Like she can like run everything. But anyways, long story short, I had never met Tamra before. And that just showed me like how much we are all here for one another. She literally looked at me in the line and she's like, hey, just take some of my energy. I have so much to spare. We've got this. I'm going to lead. It's okay. You're with me, girl. Power through. And I'm like, okay. And my palms are clammy. I'm holding the check like I'm shaking like a leaf. And she's like, you're good. You got it. And she just brought this sense of ease over me. And everybody brought that sense of ease over me. I'm not well at approaching people. And I think that kind of got through the crowd, and people were approaching me. And then in that being said, like you don't know who's next to you. Like we're not wearing name badges that are saying like vice president or diamond, or like we don't know who's around us. So come to find out, a lot of these girls that were socializing with me, having a cocktail, talking about the business, they were like high up in the company, and they were just we were all blended together with that unity. So I just really had to share that piece of it. It's the best trip that I've ever taken for an incentive trip, and I've taken a lot of them. And it was just a sense of peace, a sense of calm. And I cannot wait for the next one.
Oh, I love that. That you're right. There were so many moments like that where you just we actually were at the pool, and this lady came up and she saw we were all speaking English, and she's like, "You guys speak English?" And she actually was on a different team, but she had been in the company since 2019 actually. And she said this was her first incentive trip. She just hit director in September, so do the math. Like what, over 5 years, and she was
Mhm.
so excited, and there was no one else there on her team, and she was from Kentucky, and it was just like, just the meeting and talking people. And then like I think you'll probably hear a few of us met like our up line. She's literally the number one paid person, top of the, and you would never get that like like don't talk, like she was so welcoming, hi, nice, and that's 100% like the vibe across, and everyone just wanted to help everyone. So thank you so much, KV. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Miss Director Dawn O'Connell, and let's hear a few of your takeaways from the trip.
Thank you, Brittany. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I had a blast. I met Al too, actually, and I didn't know who she was or anything. She didn't know who I was, and she was so sweet. She was super down to earth. So I would say the same exact thing. And didn't they just have to create a new title for her because she was, I mean, she's like really incredible. So super down to earth people. I loved that everyone was recognized. I've earned incentive trips with my previous company, a lot of our previous company, not everyone here, but a few of us, anyways. And I would say that honestly, earning the trips, it keeps me motivated to do my business. That's actually part of my why is like, okay, there's a trip, I'm going to earn that. This trip was, like you said, Brittany, so incredibly simple to earn. It wasn't easy, but it was simple. And so if we're doing those things that we do every day anyways, which is talk, I mean, we just talked about what our favorite 3 products were, right? And just talking about those, whether it's with our team or with our friends that will hopefully become our team, it's pretty simple to earn one of these. Um, how do you do it? Like, you can do it with your friends. You can host team parties, use the products yourself, use a lot of the products, getting people in with like the makeup, because that's what drew me to Farmasi was the opportunity, but also like the makeup, because I've been looking for clean makeup. So when Essie told me it was clean, I was like, sign me up yesterday. I'm good. But like Anita said, I'm actually falling in love more so with the nutrition line now. It has helped me so much. And I've seen so many of my friends with this nutrition line. So I guess circling back around to the trip had something for everyone. Everyone was at different levels that earned this trip. I mean, it wasn't like a level type trip, and everyone was down to earth. Everybody was kind. Everybody had a different jam, as far as, what they were there for and what they wanted to do. I wanted to treat my husband. He's so hardworking. And, I will tell you guys, every one of you can earn an incentive trip, because it isn't just like, this is not my only thing. This is not a lot of our only thing, right? I have 4 kids. I've got a husband who works outside the house. I have another full-time gig that sometimes it's like 60 hours a week. You can do this. You can do this. So I guess I'm here to say you can do this. You can absolutely do this. And you have to come on the next one. You have to.
Oh, I love that, Dawn. Thank you. And that's so on point because everyone can do this. And one thing I was just thinking of is Anita said it and you said it. Like, I have my famous last words for years is I was like, I would never do health and wellness. That's boring. That's lame, blah, blah, blah. And here I am. Like, it's my favorite thing to talk about. I'm doing it every single day. And it's true. And it's because there is something for everyone. It's not that we're not asking anyone to do anything crazy, like try some niche, super weird thing. It's like, no, you're already open to it. You might even be doing it. And so now you're just replacing it with one shop stop over here. So thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to kick it to Director Natalie. I want to hear what her takeaways are.
Hello, everybody. I was the token Mexican on the trip. I was everybody's best friend all of a sudden because I spoke the language and it was so helpful and just really nice. And it was very empowering as a very proud Mexican woman to see so many Mexican women on that stage. I couldn't believe how very few Americans there were on that stage when we're talking about, was it vice president that they started with at the gala? Was that the first category? I can't recall.
Emerald and up.
Emerald and up. Okay, so Emerald and up. And I think that there were 2 Americans out of everybody recognized, maybe a couple more, but a large majority were Mexicans. And just as far as earners were concerned, it was over 1,000 Mexican earners and right around 500 that were US, Canada, and Puerto Rico. So that just goes to show, and someone else said this, I think it was Jen, how much potential we have. There is so much untapped market in the US, and that was just so powerful. And so many people talked about the stage recognition. I've been with another company for almost 4 years. I was a top seller. I worked my butt off. But despite that, I had never gotten stage recognition. So to be with this company for less than 4 months and be handed this big check, which was also eye-opening because with a lot of other companies, you can't talk about money. Like, you're not allowed to. And if you do, there's all these caveats. And I remember talking to other people and they're like, we want people we want to see how much money you're earning because it's not something you should be ashamed of. It's something that should be made public and something that you should be proud of because you worked hard. She's 10-year-old daughter, I came home with it. She looks at the check. She goes, we're rich. And I was like, oh, honey, in a 10-year-old world, this is a lot of money. But like, this is a lot of money for a lot of people. And the fact that we get to celebrate that instead of hiding behind it and having a million income disclosures that you don't actually end up seeing it, it's so powerful and it's so empowering. But I got to walk on that stage for the first time in 4 years of direct selling with a brand new company that I had just joined. And the amount of energy that came from that, I know for KB, it was the opposite of reaction. Like for me, it was just, it lit a fire under me that I already had, but it just was so much more to feel recognized, to feel appreciated. And I never, despite earning other trips, I never felt that before. And it just, you were equal. Like everybody else said, like I was talking to Ale and I was talking to, I mean, even people within the last company that I was in that felt untouchable because they were on the stage all the time and they were getting sneak peeks of products. And I got to just hang out with these people and drink with them in the pool. And they were just normal people. And that was so, it was just very humbling and wonderful. And it just is one big team. And the other big thing to me was I know that some people got to have brunch with Emre and some other people higher up at Farmasi. And I got a text from somebody on our upline saying, I know you've had some requests about the nutrition line. I'm talking to Emre right now. He wants to know what your requests are. Emre, the president, is that his title, president?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The president of the entire company, who, by the way, if you haven't seen a picture of him, do yourself a favor and Google Emre, Emre Tuna. Beautiful man and just as kind. He wants to hear what I think about the nutrition line. We homestead, we do all like living off our land, and I feel very strongly about certain things. And he's like, okay, tell me what you think. And they want to hear from us. And that is just something that I don't think, whether you are in direct sales or work a traditional job, like tell me somebody else in that position of power that actually cares about everybody and wants to hear from everybody. It was all just amazing. And it's totally attainable. So do whatever you can to earn it, because now these used to be like every once in a while, they're going to be every year, which is wonderful because I think they got a lot of feedback about that. So it's totally achievable, and just make it happen because it's amazing.
Love that. So many good takeaways. And definitely, I think the money piece is really, really big. I think it's really common in our industry to most companies don't talk about it. And so that was one thing we even were talking about at the brunch, like, why is it so different? And the thing is, 80% of the people join the industry to make $200 a month. That is their main goal. So just showing that that's actually happening. And I think because it does actually happen here at Farmasi more than not, because people can not build a team, they get that 50% commission. Very simple to earn $100 a month when you're getting paid 50% commission. So showing the different levels and showing like, hey, you know, whether you're making this or you're making this, you're making something is a big deal. And I think that they have some like key secret sauce to sharing and celebrating, sharing our income. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it to Miss Erin.
Hi. So you already touched on this, but I just wanted to say it again. Just the fact that we were able to earn the strip after coming into the company when we were halfway through the earning period. I earned level 2 and I had the points for it within my first 3 weeks with the company. And I've earned, I think this was my 7th incentive trip. And it was so different because at first, when I first joined, I just assumed I wouldn't earn it. But very quickly, I saw that there was a very clear path for success set up for us. It was not complicated. The point system was easy to understand, easy to follow. It wasn't complicated how it's been for me in the past. I mean, I've had incentive trips where I earned the trip, but I couldn't even keep up with my points. I couldn't even figure out how many points I had at any time. And like, for instance, we didn't have a trip tracker when we first started with Farmasi, and we asked for one. And like, it was the next day, 2 days later, we had a trip tracker. And so I feel like they really wanted us to succeed, and they really wanted as many of us as possible on that trip. And it was just amazing. Then to show up with our team, you know, there were so many of us who came and we've kind of known each other or even just known who each other were. And for me, that was a lot of this. A lot of the people on our team now I knew from other companies, but more so I just knew who they were. And like our camaraderie within our team, and just like the open arms that I feel and just getting to know everybody. And there's not the clicks, and and I'm not saying that there was clicks before, but everybody was just in their teams for so long and just all coming together and just having just this like openness where I talked to every single person there, and made friends with people who I've known who they are, but I've never really gotten the opportunity to like be involved with these people and talk to these people and take pictures with them and just become friends, like in the pools or wherever. That was really important to me and just made me feel like I was in the right spot. And then also the planning for this, like everything was so organized and so beautifully done. The parties were incredible. Everybody looked beautiful at the gala and at the white party, but just like the way the company planned everything, and everything was just attention to detail with every little thing. And it didn't feel like it was just thrown together, which I felt like in the past. It was all just like magical, and like the session. It was like, I could say it was like a mini conference, but it wasn't like a mini conference. It was like a conference. Um, the buzz, the excitement, the big checks, just having all of that. I mean, there was like smoke explosions during the session when we were walking the stage. It was incredible. Like it was not a mini anything. Everything, they went big. They just put so much out there for us, and it was it makes me really excited to go to convention in September, and I can't imagine missing it. Just the way they did for this. And this is, these meetings and these parties are such small scale compared to what I feel like conference or convention will be. And I hope that everybody's going to go. I think it's going to be incredible. And I feel like we have a very, very bright future.
I love that. And you said exactly, I think I said it on an onboarding call yesterday. I was like, if this is what an incentive trip was like, I cannot even put my mind around what convention is going to be like. Because you're right, we kept saying it was a mini convention, but no, it was a full blown convention, like no details spared, like even a full gala with 3-course meals.
Mhm.
You think of like, you were able to earn a person, but if you didn't earn, you could buy in your person, and then that could have been a friend or a spouse, and then they got full swag. Then he went to yoga and you got a branded yoga mat. It was like branded everything, picture opportunities. The party was literally how I have been to other conferences, that wrap up party. This is like, but it was an incentive trip, a little thing. So that was really, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I've definitely been on YouTube, like looking at it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like the Golden Globes. Like it's insane, like exciting, like announcements and stuff. So I'm super pumped. And so you definitely get to convention. Definitely great takeaways there, Erin. Let's go ahead and Miss Platinum Director Tamara.
Hi guys. I feel like if my computer's lagging, sorry, and Brittany was freezing. I don't know if it's me. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Anyway, if you haven't figured it out yet, this trip was super, super empowering and so much fun. And I wanted to echo for the fifth time probably that we are on the ground floor in the US. Okay? Let that sink in. And I want to just take this opportunity while there's so many faces and ears and eyes on this presentation. It what that means is a couple things. One, it means that it's going to be hard work for us to tap into the United States and Canada. Okay. I just want to make that clear. We are a new brand to North America. So that means that we are the ones that have to keep sharing, keep showing up, because it is our opportunity to create trust with our viewers. Okay, think about that. So when we keep saying share 3 to 5 products consistently that you love, it's going to just speak from the heart, you guys. Keep sharing those products over and over. If you feel like you're stuck, or if you feel like you're sharing and people aren't listening or watching, or you're not getting orders, let me tell you, it's going to take a little extra work because people don't know who Farmasi is. You're going to have to put in a little extra time to educate them a little bit further. educate them that these are European standards clean products. If you are at all feeling frustrated because we're at that 3 month, 4 month hump, you might even just be at 1 month, you might be feeling a little stuck. Keep going, you guys. It's going to be so worth it. And I promise you, if it feels like people aren't watching, they're watching you. They just need extra time to be persuaded. They need to know, like, oh, Tamara's just bouncing around talking about this product. They're paying attention to me bouncing around, but they're not saying anything. And then I keep showing up and I keep talking about it. And then pretty soon they're like, okay, she actually really likes this. Oh, wait, she just finished that contour stick that she's been talking about for months. Okay, she really likes it because now she needs another one, right? Think about that. So it's up to us to tap into this North American market, but just know it might be a little bit harder, but imagine what the opportunities are here for us. Think about that. Like everybody that was there, and I'm going to get into talking about Emre and tap into that in a second, but a lot of the North American presence was primarily Miami based or South Texas because there was a lot of Spanish speakers, right? Think about that. The Midwest and all of like everywhere is barely even tapped into here. So I just wanted to reiterate that from a little bit of like a coaching perspective, okay? So just keep believing in yourself, keep showing up, keep doing all the things. Your hard work and consistency will pay off. Okay, so I also wanted to talk about the fact that Brittany kind of started actually just talking about this. The lifestyle brand, which I'm wearing my NutriPlus shirt that I got at yoga. I also just did a little yoga stretch after my treadmill walk, and it felt so good to be sitting on a yoga mat that I got on our brand trip that I earned. And it was just so neat to be thinking about this, you guys. Like, they embraced the entire time. They had little strawberry shakes for us from our brand. They had the new Mandarin Aloe Glow for us. They had the yoga. I mean, talk about feeling like the warm and fuzzies and just like completely included in a company that is like, we are embracing this lifestyle. They are the brand. We are the brand. And I don't know. I have chills right now, even talking about it. So I hope I'm transferring my Tamra chills to you because that is seriously how it felt the entire time we were there. Okay, and then finally, when Brittany said talk about the Mexico trip, I just have to tell you guys this. I'm not bragging. This is just seriously something that stood out to me and really impacted me. So my partner, my husband is a pilot. He is very tall and for some reason Emre figured out that he's a pilot and he saw us on the beach and he like went to go find Conrad and he stopped and he talked with us for 25 minutes. I mean, he cared about me, but he really wanted to talk to Conrad because Emery's also a pilot. And I just thought that was so special. And of course, I got a little bit of that one-on-one time, but like the president of the company pursued us to go talk because it meant something to him. And it was, so that was just so special. And we did talk for a long time. Yes, a lot of it was about airplanes, but we talked about the fact that there was like I asked him a couple of questions. He asked me how it was. Is there anything I could improve? And it just gave me reflections back to the first Miami trip where he did the same thing. He said, how is this for you guys coming in? What can we change? What can we improve? Just like Natalie said, what ingredients can we change? Like they are listening to us. This company is incredible. And they are so smart and so kind and so perceptive and so open to hearing our feedback. So if you haven't figured it out, we're in a really special place. And for those of you who are tuning in and thinking about joining, I hope you're convinced because it is truly a gift to be partnered with Farmasi. And I like everyone said, work hard, earn the trips, and just remember, no matter what, if you like, no matter how you're working hard, whatever you're doing to try to earn these trips, you're creating those behaviors and you're growing, right? Not everybody gets there overnight. We all are in different places with this business. And the fact that there were so many different ranks at this event just goes to show everything is possible here and we all have opportunity.
So good. I love that. So many freaking amazing takeaways from all of us. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of share a few of mine. And then I want to talk about some of the product launches that they introduced, which I know you guys seen, but we've got them here. I want to show and talk about them a little more. So listening to Tamara when she mentioned about the opportunity and a whole like, yes. So I joined our last company that I was in like about a month after it launched and no one knew about it at all, guys. And I'm going to tell you, I was my own best customer for 6 months. I didn't enroll anyone for 6 months. I showed up every single day. I was doing vendor events online, talking about it, getting so many no's. And you guys, and for some of you know, like I reached the top of that company, right? $360 million in sales for my team. And I think often there were some times where I was definitely defeated in that period. There was definitely some times where I always like, man, what if you would have quit? What if you would have said no and got defeated when so and so? I always say one of my biggest leaders said she wasn't going to join. Her party was a flop. Then eventually, about 7 months in, she joined me. Now, thinking of my journey with pharmacy, I have a lot of people that I talked to in February that when I told them what I was doing, they weren't interested, popping around, asking me questions, loving on my story. Some have joined. And so that's just 4 months, but we know Kim raises her hand. First day I joined, about 45 minutes I answered your questions and you just joined 2 weeks ago, right? So that's just one example, but there's so many, right? And that's because we know statistically 8 to 12 times of someone needs to see, they need to hear it. And people are watching because we're humans to see like, are they really liking it? And what sets us up for success also, like Tamara said, is we are a lifestyle. We can be products of the product. We can be using everything. And people ask what you're doing. What are you wearing? That smells good. What's on your lips? And we can share it here. And we can talk about everything. It's not like, you guys know, like if you like maybe if we were at a nail company and they only had one thing and you had to use like a different brand of nail polish remover and you couldn't promote it, it's weird. Here we have something for everything. I'm just giving an example. So that opens you up to be able to share from all different facets, which I really love. So while we were there, they really highlighted the point of that we had the biggest May ever. We've been in a growth mode since March. This isn't like during a COVID boom. They were here at COVID. So that was like really, really big. And the commitment that they have to pour into the field. And Emery said, like, anyone's welcome to home office. What is home office is ours. They want to help us. And like, being a top leader before, knowing that I earned my way onto all these committees and what that felt like, and pouring in and maybe nothing I ever said was heard or taken. That is so different here. And you don't have to be a top leader to give that. They want to hear it from everyone. They want to know what works. So I got invited to the Diamond and Up brunch. There were only 2 people from Farmasi USA that were Diamond and Up there. It was me and our upline Issa. That was really eye-opening. But biggest thing is Emery wanted to hear from every single person. Wanted to hear from every single person what was working, what wasn't working, and he was taking notes. They did some things while we were there. Like it was really like, and it's so different. It's so different and it has me so excited. So I don't want to take your guys the whole night, but I just wanted to highlight the new products that we just launched because they made a big deal showing them at conference. So, they did not come to play this summer. We have a lot of fun stuff coming, but these just launched and there's a lot of buzz around them. So obviously you guys know Aloe Glow Mandarin. If you love the OG, I'm telling you, if you have not done the OG, which is mango, you need Aloe Glow, okay? This flavor is good. I feel like it tastes like, it really gives me summer vibes. I'm not crazy about mango, period, so I was really excited. I use it, but I was excited for this one. So Aloe Glow, it supports digestion, it reduces bloating, it helps your body absorb nutrients better, it's good for your skin. I like to say it's like a magical tablespoon because it's just a tablespoon a day, right? One bottle lasts a month. And so I feel like more energy. And so this is a citrusy twist. I definitely say, giving people more options of flavors is a good thing. If you're on here and you haven't tried Aloe Glow, you need to try it. You need to get on it. I'm telling you, I have so many people asking about it, and it's in stock. So grab it before that may not happen. All right. So then next we have our fragrances, which fragrances at Farmasi were another surprise for me because I was a perfume snob. My husband is a cologne snob, but I've been really impressed. So this is men's Deep Horizon. So, and this is like, I would say it's like, it smells so good. He's been wearing it every day. Like, I wish I could get you guys to smell it, but it's like confidence in a bottle. The top notes are vibrant spices, violet. The middle notes are lavender, caramel, and then the base notes are vanilla and amber. Okay, so basically, I feel like it's really clean. I actually typed into ChatGPT if there was a dupe for it, and it said it was similar to Dior Savage, if anyone's ever smelled that. But I honestly feel like it could be a unisex scent, depending on what your vibe is. So it wasn't super strong. It's probably one of the lighter men's scents. So I really, really like it. And then perfect for Father's Day, your husband, son. It's good. Okay, so then next up, Rose Embrace for her. So when I heard the name, I was like, ooh, that's going to be super floral. I'm not in love with floral like that. I do love rose, but not too strong. But this Rose Embrace, I feel like it's my number one scent. If you guys look, do you see how much I've been? Literally, this bottle's been going through it. I wear this every single day. And so I feel like it's going to be my signature scent forever, but I feel like it's for summer. It's light, it's floral, it's feminine, and it smells expensive, which is really similar to Gucci Bloom in my eye. And so the top notes are saffron and rose. I'm going to say this wrong. Rose Damas. Anyone? Is that right? Okay. So middle is raspberry geranium, and then base notes are patchouli. So if you're a perfume lover, like I said, it does give Gucci Bloom with less of the floral vibes. And when I typed into ChatGPT from the notes, it said it was like Chanel Chance. So if you're familiar, yeah, Katie says I was spraying it on everyone at the bar daily. I'm like, all y'all need to smell. It's literally my favorite perfume at this point. So I really feel like it's dreamy. It's light. It's very light with a little bit of sweet and spice. So definitely grab Rose Embrace if it's not already in your cart. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. I know fragrances are a personal preference, but I'm not wrong on this one. So I wanted to show you guys. Those are the 3 products because we know tonight you can get free shipping if you spend over $75. So it's a good time to grab it. If you're not an influencer yet, that would be a perfect time to sign up, unlock your 50%, and grab it there. So it is the Rose Embrace. I see you're asking in the chat. It's definitely been through it, but I already have a refresh coming. So you guys, this is the place to be. I'm serious. We're just the beginning. Sun stuff is coming out soon, Kim, because we did get face cream in our swag bag. So I definitely see it happening this month for sure. This is the place to be. No questions asked. I definitely want everyone to be at convention and then everyone to be on the next incentive trip, and just we're building something big and powerful. It's not just a company, it's not a business, it's a movement, it's a community that I think it's going to be bigger and better than anything we've ever had before. I feel it in my gut. So super proud of you all. The replay will be ready for you guys to send to your teams, and thanks for spending your time with us. We love you. Proud of every single one of you. Have a great, amazing night, guys.